Hey there YouTube, this is Sign18 coming with you another deck profile. Today we're doing the Chronoscommand Dragon deck profile. I know it's been a long time coming and it's just a matter of time that I got around to it after the holidays and everything, but good thing comes for those who wait, and now is the time. So let's get done with all the time puns and just get to the video. So this is, like I said, this is the Chronoscommand Dragon deck, which I like to call the Lost Chronicle deck for reasons you'll see. So we're going to jump right into it, go right into the grade 4th and count it down. We play 3 copies of Chronoscommand Dragon. Chronoscommand Dragon is our newest card from the V-Clan selection for Gear Chronicle. It is a very good boss unit in my opinion, and I've been looking forward to building this deck. I've always had the Chronoscommand deck. The only problem is that we never had a stationary Vanguard in main deck that had the Chronoscommand name, so allowing our units to be able to be played even on our opponent's turn. So this card is a godsend in that fact. So we're going to go right into the skill. This is a Vanguard skill. Auto effect when placed, either from hand or deck. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast when discard 1 card from your hand. And then return all of your rear guards to the bottom of your deck. And then look at the top 5 cards of your deck and call up to as many as you look to rear guard circles. And then put the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order and shuffle. So this is a good way to flood the board. If you aren't able to call things from your hand, this is just a very good, easy way to flood the board. And you could get a lot of benefits off of the discard ability, because you know Gear Chronicle now has a lot of cards that, when discarded, gain certain effects. We have a few of those in this deck. His other skill is that when this unit attacks hits a Vanguard, your opponent chooses all of their rear guards and put to the bottom of their deck. So this is a very common thing in the Chronoscommand archetype, putting your opponent's units to the bottom of their deck. So this skill comes in very handy because there's a lot of grade 2s and grade 1s that benefit off of seeing your opponent's units go away. And we're going to get into that. We have a few in these decks, so we can get to that, and then you'll see how the deck works. So now we're going to go into the lost part of this deck, which is 4 copies of Interdimensional Dragonite Lost Legend. So the reason why I'm playing Lost Legend over Chronojet Dragon is because A, I don't like Chronojet Dragon that much, and B, when I first saw this for Gear Chronicle, I really wanted to build it, just never really got a chance to get around to it. Until now. So Lost Legend was the first grade 3 Gear Chronicle unit that allowed you to pseudo stride, which means to take grade 4 from your deck and ride it as your Vanguard. His skill states discard any card from your hand whose sum equals 3 or higher, and then search your deck for a grade 4 and ride it as the Vanguard as stand. He has an additional skill. At the end of the turn, retire that grade 4 and then ride a grade 3 from your soul as the Vanguard as rest. Meaning you can rewrite himself again another Force 1. Mind you, this deck runs Force 1. You really want to capitalize on the power. His second skill is when rode upon, you can counterblast 2 and draw 1 card. That skill really doesn't come up unless you're really lacking in the hand category, and then you would want to use that counterblast 2. We do have ways to get our counter charges back very easily in this deck, and you will see later down in the deck profile. Now the last grade 3 we play in this deck are 4 copies of Time Tracking Dragon. This is our new Heal Guardian for Gear Chronicle. So all Heal Guardians have the exact same skill and the exact same stats: 10k power, 15k shield, heal trigger effect, and 10k power when triggered for a damage or a draw trigger check. So the skill states, when this unit is placed in your hand on rearguard circle, if you do not have any damage, deal yourself 1 damage. But draw trigger effects do not activate. Then additional skill, when placed on the guardian circle, you can choose 1 or 2 effects if you do not ride a grade 3 this fight. So this only works when you're on grade 2 or below, and once you ride grade 3, you're locked out of this ability. So do keep that in mind. So this skill states you can choose 1 or 2 effects. Either give your Vanguard plus 10k for the rest of the turn, or minus 2 crit to one of your opponent's units for the duration of that battle. Not turn, just that battle. Keep that in mind. So now we're going to go into the grade 2. We play 4 copies of Lost City Dragon. So Lost City Dragon is a very, very old card. Generation Break 1 old. So this card states, when this unit intercepts, Choose one of your opponent's attacking rear guards and put it to the bottom of their deck for a counterblast. And then your opponent shuffles the deck and then calls a card grade less than unit called to open rear guard circle. The opponent gets to search your deck. So if you spin a grade 2, they get a grade 1. If you spin a grade 1, they get a grade 0, and so on and so forth. This card is similar to the G Guardian of Gear Chronicle. Some of them are words. Head around Dragon, which I can show you in a minute. Actually, I can't. So it's similar to Head around Dragon, and it's stating that it spins a card back to the opponent's deck and allows the opponent to recall a unit in the same circle. It's just a smaller body version of it, and it's an interceptor. Unfortunately, you cannot just slap this in the Guardian circle as you would do most other cards. It has to intercept, so it needs to be on the field to do so, which does make it a target. So there are cards that can help you circumvent that, like the Cray Elemental G Guardian Dismal. Once your opponent attacks it, go into Dismal. Make sure your opponent can't attack it anymore. That way it's safe. It is an option. I don't run Dismal in the deck for A, I don't have it. B, when I do get it, I will put it in the deck. But that is the reason why we play this. This is just our version of the Head around Dragon that only works for Chronos Jet Dragon. Unfortunately, Bushro didn't make it generic enough for all Gear Chronicle users to use. Alright, so next card we're playing are 4 copies of Ever-Changing Peacock. Ever-Changing Gear Peacock. So Peacock is one of the older cards that worked specifically for Chronoscommand Dragon. So this card states, and again, it does have the time leap ability, states that when your opponent's rear guard is put to the bottom of his or her deck, you're able to time leap one of your other rear guards, even this one, into the next grade. Now, it doesn't state that it only works on your turn. So if you're able to put your opponent's rear guard to the bottom of the deck during their turn, you're still able to time leap a unit. So for example, if you spin one of your opponent's rear guards and you have a grade 1 in the back row, you can time leap that into a grade 2, so you have another interceptor. Perfect target would be Lost City Dragon. Time leap a grade 1 into Lost City Dragon, intercept with Lost City Dragon. That way you can then counterblast one and spin another unit. And remember, this is not a once per turn skill. As many times as you're able to spin cards, you're able to use this skill. Now the last grade 2 that we play 4 copies of Steam Knight Caliburn. Caliburn is another new card that came with Chronoscommand. It's a very good utility card, very good counter charger, very good resource gainer. So this card states, at the end of this battle, counterblast 1, bind this card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and spin it to the bottom of the deck. If it's grade 1 or less, you countercharge 1 and draw 1. If it's grade 2 or higher, depending on what grade it is, you get -1 of that grade back to your hand from your drop zone. So for example, if you spin a grade 3, you get a grade 2 back from your drop zone. If you spin a grade 2, you get a grade 1 back from your drop zone. If you spin a 1 or a 0, you get to countercharge and draw 1. Most times or not, you're going to want to spin a grade 1 or 0 if they have it on their board. That way you can capitalize on the skill, gain back that counterblast, make the Caliburn skill free, and draw a card. So now we're going to go into the grade 1s. So this is another one of our Lost cards. We play 4 copies of Lost Gear Dog 8. So Lost Gear Dog 8 is our grade 3 searcher in the deck. So he has our grade 3 searcher and our Stride Fighter picture for this deck. So his skill states, on Vanguard or Rearguard when placed, reveal a grade 3 or higher card from your hand, search your deck for a grade 3, add it to your hand, and then discard a card from your hand whose grade equals grade 3 or higher. So not only that, he allows you to outright search for your grade 3, but he also discards cards from your hand, allowing you to plus off your discard abilities as well. And then he has the continuous skill. When this unit is going to be discarded from your hand, it can be discarded as a grade 3. So when you're discarding to go into a stride, you can pitch it as a grade 3 and go right into your stride. Alright, so our next grade 1 we play 4 copies of Steamstar GT. So Steamstar GT is the last unit that came in the package for Chronoscommand and the clan selection. Her skill states, when this unit is discarded from your hand during your turn, you can call it back as rest onto the rearguard circle. And then auto effect, when your Vanguard swings, you can retire her, give your Vanguard plus 5k, and draw 1 card. So she's just another card that allows you to dig a little deeper in your deck and plus offer you discarding cards out of your hand. Next, we play 3 copies of another old card, Steamstar Kushkula Shahine. Really hard names to pronounce. But she is one of our key cards that we want to time leap or get into our hands. She is our main counter charger. Her skill states, when placed, all fighters choose 1 card from their drop zones and put it to the bottom of his or her deck. If both players do, I counter charge 1. And both players shuffle their decks. So she's not only a good way to get counter charge, but she can also throw back your over trigger if possible. But the thing about this card is she can also throw back your opponent's over trigger. So it all depends on when you play her. If you make sure you look and see what's in your opponent's drop zone, seeing that they can't really plus as much. But it's a -0 for card economy and player economy. But it's just another good way to get some counter charge and get some cards back into your deck. And in the last grade 1 we play another 3 copies of Progress Second Dragon. This card is another card for Chronoscommand back in the day. It's similar to Peacock, but it's a little different. So this unit says constant. This unit cannot be chosen to be put on the bottom of your deck by a Vanguard with Chronoscommand in its card name. So if you have this on your board and you go into the Chronoscommand play, this card cannot be chosen by Chronoscommand to go to the bottom of your deck, so it stays on the field. That is very important. And then its second skill auto is whenever your opponent's rearguard is spun to the bottom of the deck, you can time leap this card. So it's similar to Peacock in the state that it allows you to time leap when cards are set to the bottom of the deck. But unlike Peacock, it has to time leap itself. It cannot choose another unit to time leap. And it also has the time leap skill, so it does benefit off of one of our strides for being a time leap unit. Alright, so now we're going to go into the grade 0s. So of course we're playing the 1 copy of the starter. We're playing the 1 copy of the starter. We're playing 1 copy of the Dark States Overtrigger. We'll play 4 copies of the Draw PG. We'll play 4 copies of the Crit Stride Fodder. And then we're playing 3 copies of Vainglory Dream Gear Cat. So this card is our defensive play. You may be wondering why I'm not playing Steam Fighter Urtar. I come to find out that Urtar is better in a pure time leap build. This is more of a spin to the bottom of the deck build. So you want to plus as much off of spinning cards. Urtar is a great card, but again, it also can only be run at 1. So we want to kind of utilize our grade 0s best to our ability. And I figure that this card is a little bit better than Urtar. And we do already have ways of drawing cards and things like that. So Urtar is good, but it's not the best card suited for this deck. If you were to add a little bit more time leap units, then yes, but until then, this is our best choice. And I'm going to explain why. Auto effect. Once returned, counterblock GB1. When your opponent's rearguard is put to the bottom of his or her deck, it doesn't stay on whose turn. Choose one of your units and give it plus 10k power. So you can choose your Vanguard and give it plus 10k power. And then if you did, return this card to your deck and shuffle your deck. So it's a trigger that goes back to deck. It gives your Vanguard power. And then it also triggers when your opponent's unit goes to the bottom deck, which a lot of the cards want to see and do. So that is all of our 0s. We're going to go into the G zone, and then we're going to wrap this video up. So we play 1 copy of Interdimensional Dragon, Grog Rock Dragon. So Grog Rock Dragon here is to do 1 thing and 1 thing only. Its skill states, at the end of the battle that it attacks, counterblast 1, bind 4 of your rear guards. Choose a grade 3 or higher unit from your deck and ride it as the Vanguard. So the reason why we have this card in the deck is to simply ride Chronoscommand Dragon as the Vanguard. That way we get another Vanguard swing, drive -1 of course, but at least at the end of the turn, Chronoscommand Dragon is now considered our Vanguard and does not go back to the deck. or back to the drop zone, it stays the Vanguard. Because it is not a superior ride or a pseudo ride or a pseudo stride. It is a ride. Next, we play 2 copies of Interdimensional Dragon History Build Dragon. This is just one of another timely card. It's on attack Soul Blast 1. For every face-up card in your G zone, you timely one of your units on the board. This just helps you do multi-attacking. It has additional continuous skill, Vanguard or G zone. All units with the timely ability gain plus 3k, including itself. It does stack. We play 2 copies of Interdimensional Dragon Chronoscommand Revolution. Revolution here is only to be a board wipe. If we're in a no-go situation and our opponent has too many cards on board, we can just wipe the board and then just swing with the Vanguard and hope we plus off of it. This card is here to do nothing more but wipe the board. And then we play 4 copies of Interdimensional Dragon Warp Drive Dragon. So Warp Drive is a combination between timely and bot decking. So Warp Drive says, act once per turn, counter blast 1, soul blast 1. Turn a card face up in your G zone. For every face up copy of Warp Drive in your G zone, you choose one of your rear guards and time leave it. And then for every time leave you do, you choose one of your opponent's rear guards and send it to the bottom of the deck. So this not only just allows you to time leave, but also plus off of your opponent sending cards to his or her bottom of the deck, plussing even further. And then we play 1 copy of Dusk. Dusk is here just to be a finisher if we're able to. Just drop your opponent's power down to 1 and then just go ham. We play 1 copy of Time Made of Eternity Eluder. Eluder is here just as a big shield. We play her little self, radioactive Time Made of Eluder, just here to send back triggers and key units. We play 1 Bear Lock just as if we don't have any healed triggers to throw away to G-Guard. This is just another way to G-Guard for very big numbers. And then we play 2 copies of Highbrow Steam Rafana. Rafana is here just to send key units on our board back to the bottom of the deck and call out that cat. Her skill states is when you activate her skill, bot deck one of your rear guards, call out a grade 0, she gets 10k to her shield. Most times or not, we're going to be calling out the Dreaming Cat. That way we can plus off of it later. That is the entire Chronoscommand deck, or as I like to call it, the Lost Chronicle deck. If you guys like what you saw, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. We're always doing more videos here. We will have a lot more fight videos on the channel in due time, especially in the new year. Things have been kind of crazy here at home in personal life, but I am trying my best to get these videos out to you on a regular schedule. Until then, as always, we will see you later.